Shalom. Baruch Haba, Coram Lee Anthony. Hello and welcome. They call me Anthony. Thank you so much for joining us here at Sarid for our weekly Torah teaching on the coming of Adonai Yahushua HaMashiach. We are excited for that expectation and praise Yahuwah Elohim for the great wisdom and understanding He has given us in His Word to share with you. To the Kodashim out there, thank you so much for your comments and for your support. I trust that all is well with you. If you have not already, please subscribe. As we look to this part of the Yadut, the Song of Mosheh begins to reveal some very interesting things in the Word. So join with us now as we continue to sing that song. Devarim chapter 32 will line up with Yochanan chapter 18. We'll be looking at verses 4 and 3 respectively. He is the rock. His work is perfect. Then Yehuda, having received a detachment of troops. As we start the survey on this line, he is the rock. The word for rock here is H6697. It is sur. This word is a masculine proper noun with reference to a deity. In this case, it is Elohim. The verb means to bind, besiege, confine, and cramp in. To enclose, to show hostility to be an adversary, and treat as a foe. This is in reference to his work in these lines we're about to survey. The adversary and foe is seen as Yehuda over in Yochanan, Ish Kiryah, Shimon's Ben, who has received a detachment of troops. He's disconnected now. This is opposition here. The definition of sur also means enclosed, so as to distinguish it from others. So this is set up nice and neat in the line to survey, so as to leave no doubt, Yehuda is wrong, and if not careful, about to get hit upside the head with this rock. The rock of his work is perfect. Tamim, it doesn't miss. H8549 means sound, wholesome, unimpaired, innocent, having integrity. It is what is complete or entirely in accord with truth and fact. End of definition. This is a neuter adjective. Okay, so there's nothing else like it. All of this is contrary to what is going on with Yehuda, Ish Kiryah, Shimon's Ben. We must first notice the work of Elohim is referenced to in the verse. As we pick up from last week, the line to survey said we were to ascribe greatness to our Elohim. And this we did, noting the difference between the Torah and the Quran. No other book speaks like the word of Yahuwah Elohim. We ascribe greatness to our Elohim. Now we know that Yahuwah is Elohim, but for this written account, this is concerning his work as Elohim. Yahuwah is not identified by name in this verse. He here is Elohim, as we continue from last week, because in the beginning, Elohim created everything. So this is about the work of his creation. However, Yehuda, the praise of Yahuwah, shows up down in Yochanan for this particular work that is not from Yahuwah. So everything is going good. Then this shows up. He has received a detachment of troops. The word there for detachment of troops is spiral. H4686. It is something rolled or folded together. It is of Latin origin. So these are foreigners, a military cohort that is detached from the perfection of the work from the rock. Tamim is perfect, innocent, having integrity. This guy is detached. And we know he is detached because of what he received. So let's look at that word for received. G2983 means to take. The third definition is used here, to claim, to procure for one's self. To associate oneself as a companion or attendant. He received that too. He was a companion to the Kodeshim. It also means to lay hold of, to apprehend. Guess that's what the troops are for. Wow. Also, it means to take by craft or catch. It's used of hunters, fishermen, etc., in order to circumvent one by fraud. So this guy has been scheming. And it's about what he received, according to the word in the survey line. So this is a wolf in sheep's clothing. And from here on out, for these lines of survey, Yehuda Ish Kiryah Shimon's Ben, his people are seen as fraudulent. He and everyone with him are guilty and lacking integrity. Mosheh is singing about how perfect the word of Elohim is describing the works of evil here for the song that are not from Elohim. They are not sent by him in any way. This is a spiritual song that is playing out, and it is perfectly describing the ability to note evil in the verses of these lines to survey by noting what is wrong with these people who show now for the song. As for Elohim, for all his ways are justice. So over in Yochanan, we have officers. For all his ways are justice. This is a quality, something that escapes the officers over in Yochanan. Can't do evil and expect Elohim to sign off on it. I don't know what's wrong with these people. The word used is mishpat. H4941 is an act of deciding a case presented for judgment, to decide controversy. This is what officers should do. Again, this is a quality that escapes the officers. Justice. We will see it unfold in the song. And all of truth from the chief Kohanim. The word for all there is H410. It is a mighty one. It's one. Mighty things in nature. Something with strength and power. The root is from H352, Ayil. A strong man, leader, or chief. This is seen opposed in Yochanan as the chief Kohanim. The Kohen is a mighty one. The truth is, there was only supposed to be one Kohen Haggadah. They have one too many chiefs. And if you know the story or have followed the Adut thus far, you know that they are lying and plotting. That's why they sent someone else to do their dirty work. The chief Kohanim know truth. Elohim is an all of truth. And without injustice. And Parshi. And without injustice. The word for injustice there is awel. It is unrighteousness and wrong. Injustice of speech, by violent deeds or in general. To act wrong. Lack of fairness. This is another quality. Injustice. This one heavily favored in the Parshi. The Pharisees, as many know them, they are a sect that seems to have come around after the exile of the original people. These are different groups of people here. G5330 is Pharisees. This is still another group. The witness is to the root of it. The root of that word, and it is of Ibrit origin, and it takes you to H6567, parash, and it means to make distinct and declare and distinguish, to declare and distinguish, to separate, to pierce and sting. How about that? Or as Mosheh says, injustice. Parshi, out for injustice. So the word lumps them in with the chief Kohanim. Righteous and upright is he. They came there with lanterns, torches, and weapons. Righteous and upright is he. Again, all of these are qualities necessary for spiritual soundness and good judgment. It is the lack of spiritual understanding that lead people astray. Elohim judges the heart, the place where all these qualities are found. They are invisible and can only be seen in the deeds and actions of people. Over in Yochanan, they came there with the physical or earthly comparison of righteousness and uprightness with lanterns, torches, and weapons, looking for something in the dark. Up to their old tricks again. Theft and destruction of any good thing, to destroy it. That's why the weapons were needed. They've come to destroy the works of Elohim. They come to fight against the good spiritual qualities found in him and displayed by his people, whom they have come up against. In fact, aside from Ish Kiryah, Yahushua and his taught ones has done nothing spiritually wrong at all. They were righteous and upright as well. And certainly nothing was done that was worthy of a night raid. We know they just finished praying to Yahuwah, which is the right thing to do, and they come under attack in a very threatening manner. So by this we know that Satan is still behind the actions of Yehuda Ish Kiryah, Shimon's ben, because the deeds are done in the dark. He praises Yahuwah and then comes to try to find something wrong with his worship companions. This is what the lanterns and torches were for, to find something or someone to accuse. Accusation is a spiritual weapon used to destroy anything. Here, it comes against righteousness and the uprightness of it, displayed by the Kodashim, who were doing right. So they can bring all the lights they want. They're dealing with the true light now. Devarim chapter 32, verse 5 and 6 will line up with Yochanan chapter 18. We'll be looking at verse 4 through 6. They have corrupted themselves. They are not his banim. Yahushua, therefore, knowing all things that would come upon him, went forward and said to them, whom are you seeking? So Yahushua has already peeped them out. He knew they were coming before they got there. You see it in the survey line. This is called superior night vision. He didn't need all that stuff they had. For it is written, indeed the darkness shall not hide from you, but the night shines as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to you. This is found in the Tehillah. So their corruption has been found out, and Mosheh is singing about it. He says they have corrupted themselves. H7843 is shachat, and it means to destroy, corrupt, and go to ruin, to decay, rot it, to morally pervert and deal corruptly with. They are dealing with Yahushua, the one who can save them, who already knows all these things will come upon him in the verse. So he went forward and said to them, whom are you seeking? He steps into the dimness of their lanterns and torches and asked them this because they are not his banim, his offspring. The root word there is ben, H1121, are the banim, the children in this case, members of the group. The sixth definition speaks of other sons as characterization. Okay, excuse me there. So something's wrong with their character. It's a problem here. It's not Yahushua's. It's not Elohim's. Also it reads, sons of injustice, for unrighteousness, unrighteous men. Wow, we surveyed these words already. Or sons of Elohim, as messengers, is in the definition. So this is spiritual corruption made manifest. They are not his banim spiritually any more than they are the original people during the time of this event. As the Ruach HaKodesh, through the teaching, has borne witness throughout this Hidu. They are messengers of unrighteousness, false prophets, because of their blemish, a perverse and crooked generation. They answered him, Yahushua, the Naziyr. So we have to spend some time here because of this blemish. Because of their blemish. H3971 is mom. It is a physical defect or of a moral stain. Something is wrong with the response down in Yochanan that is perverse and crooked. So we have to check it out. Let's look at this word here. That word there for Naziyr was Nazareth. H3480 is Nazarios. It means separated one. The root is G3478. We're looking at the Greek understanding here. The first one was G3480. This one's G3478. It means the guarded one. The root is of uncertain derivation. That's the problem here. How about that? In other words, they don't know where this word came from. A Greek reference. That's what it is. And they don't know where it came from. A prophetic word. And they don't know where it came from. Somebody knows something. If the root is faulty, then so is this fruit in every form, including Nazareth. This place is not even known, wasn't even known when this was going down. So let's look at this perverse and crooked generation, since Nazareth is made up from this tree of root words. Find out where they went wrong. The blemish or moral stain, this can be seen in how they answered him for this written account. It is defective. It was not Yahushua the Naziyr. What you see here on the Mitzvah has been cleaned up to reflect the actual account. Mosheh is singing about the generations that followed the deceit that started here. It is perverse. H6141, ikashay. It means twisted and distorted, perverted. The verb means to make crooked. They made it crooked. The original words are reflected here on the screen, as I mentioned. They made it Jesus of Nazareth. The definition also means to declare crooked. So the lie they cooked up is now being promoted. People are talking about it. That's what it means to declare crooked. They're talking about it. They're declaring it crooked by misrepresenting what it was supposed to be. They misunderstood the prophecy and declared something else, something perverted and crooked. This is the generation that Mosheh is singing about here for this teaching. This is a great lie that has been bought and sold to countless generations throughout time. Now, we already know what they did to the great name of Yahushua. We covered that in the second orientation video. You can go there and see that. That's a blemish. And this is another blemish here that's just as important. That is the word Naziyr. What happened to it? So that it does not trace back to its Hebrew roots. This is a moral stain, a blemish. The word Nazareth is what they had there before I cleaned it up on the Mitzvah. That word is only found in the Brit Chadashah, the New Testament, as many know it, and they listed about 29 times. That's how many times they declared it crooked. Nazareth is not mentioned anywhere in what we know as the Tanakh, which is an acronym for the Torah, the Nebaim, and the Ketubim, the other writings, many know as the Old Testament. Can't find it anywhere in there. So the word is saying this answer they have written is twisted and perverted, crooked. Nevertheless, this is an important word because it identifies Yahushua a certain way. It's a very special part of his nature, separate from anything else. And the answer can be found in the very first time the word was used. According to how the written account played out, it was found in Matthew chapter 2, verse 21 and 23. Just going to put it on the screen and read it. See if I can clear this off here. It's the story where Herodes was trying to kill Yahushua, who was a child. They fled to Mitzrayim, and then Joseph took the child and his mother from Mitzrayim back to the land of Yisrael. It says, then he arose, took the young child and his mother, and came to the land of Yisrael. But when he heard that Archelaus was reigning over Yehuda instead of his father Herodes, he was afraid to go there, and being warned by Elohim in a dream, he turned aside into the region of Galilee. And he came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Nebiim. He shall be called a Nazarene. So this is where Nazareth is first written, according to the written accounts here. Matthew came first. Nazareth, in the concordance, is a proper locative noun, a place. And a Nazarene is a person from that place. And we'll come back to that in a minute, because they're trying to deceive, if possible, the elect with this one. With this place they have created for tourism. Now, because of the dream, the word says he turned into the region of Galilee. This too is a proper locative noun. And if you turned into the region of Galilee, you would probably be called a Galilean. There is a prophecy concerning Galilee, that region, found in Yeshayahu chapter 9. You can go there in your quiet time and read about that. That's what this is all about. This was the prophetic place for him to appear. Okay, remember, Nazareth is not found in the what they know as the Old Testament. So the word they put there was Galilee. Okay, Galilee, G1056, means circuit, and it is listed over 60 times in the Brit Chadashah alone. That's noteworthy here, as the root is of Hebrew origin and takes you to Galil, H1551. Okay? It also means circuit and district. So this is a place, and the definition identifies it as such, a district. Galil is identified at least 6 times in the ancient records of Scripture, including 2 times in the great book of Yahushua. It is a region, and the definition identifies it as a region. In fact, it closes it down to a district. Nazareth, G3478, this other place they made up, is also, as I mentioned, a proper locative noun. That means the guarded one. It's the definition that raises questions here. This is identifying a person, the guarded one. It's talking about a person and not a district or a circuit. They did the same for Nazarene. G3480 means one separated. Again, it's talking about a person, and it takes you back to Nazareth, a place of uncertain derivation. In other words, they don't know what they're talking about. And if you're following anything called or supporting Christianity or Judaism, you don't know what you're talking about either. And these are just some of the lyrics to this song that Mosheh is singing about. Nazareth is more recent history and not ancient history. Everything went down in Galilee. Now, concerning the passage of that prophecy, they want you to believe that it was spoken by the prophets, the Nebiim, okay, and not written. The only passage that can be likened to the prophecy is found in the story of Shimshon in the book of the Shoftim, Judges chapter 13:5. It's a wonderful story. Read it when you get a chance. We're just going to compare this verse that was actually given by a Malach of Elohim. A supernatural being did this. You know, And verse 5 reads, I'm just going to read it, you don't have to turn there. For behold, you shall receive and bear a ben, and no razor shall come upon his head, for the child shall be a Naziyr to Elohim from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines, the immigrants, the ones Mosheh is singing about in this song, perverse and crooked. They are not his children. The word written here, or that I just read, Naziyr, in the Shoftim, H5139, means a set-apart one and a devoted one. The root identifies with spiritual dedication as a way of living one's life. This is a person, according to this reading. This is a set-apart one dedicated solely to Elohim from the womb. Spiritual dedication. Satan knows that, and he was trying to kill him from birth. Something supernatural was going down. As Matithyahu witnessed, the word Naziyr was foretold to come on the head of Joseph. Okay? The Naziyr was foretold to come on the head of Joseph. You find that in Bereshit. So they were trying to kill him. Matithyahu witnessed that. In Bereshit, you can jot this down, go look at it when you get a chance. Chapter 49, verse 22 through 26. Particularly for here, these verses that apply on 25 and 26 over in Bereshit. That's Genesis. The fact that he is a Naziyr is tying Yahushua to the prophecy found in those verses that Yaakov gave to his Banim. Okay, so this word is very important. It's so important that the vow is recorded in Bamidbar, chapter 6. You can see it there. It's the vow of the Naziyr. Go back and check those verses out. Bamidbar, chapter 6. Go back and check all those verses out when you get a chance. They are important because Mosheh is singing about it. He's singing about that and how perverse and crooked the generation has become because of this blemish. They missed it. There are no other words that can fulfill this truth. You know? So we have to take heed. The fact that the word Nazareth is seen here as a blemish, that makes all of verse 23 and Matithyahu that we have on the screen here likely untrue. That whole verse there. In every other place that the word Nazareth is used, you know, it's misrepresented. And the only way to know is to survey on the lines with another witness. Here, it is the blemish of a perverse and crooked generation. Okay, so every other witness is going to follow suit. So whoever has an ear, let him hear, so that you lack nothing in the judgment. The fact that Mosheh is singing about it means something. Yahushua was a Naziyr from the womb to Elohim, according to that Malach from Elohim. Yahuwah is Elohim. And for the record, Elohim is the subject here. We are ascribing greatness to our Elohim. This is the true mighty one. He is the rock. His work is perfect. For all his ways are justice. He is in all of truth and without injustice. Righteous and upright is he. He is identifying his people so that those who want everlasting life can be reassured of it through them. by what he is doing according to the written word, because it is foolish to think that the scripture has not been tampered with, and ignorant to believe it will not affect you. Do you thus deal with Yahuwah, O foolish and unwise people? Yahushua said to them, I am he. Do you thus deal? Do you thus deal? Tikmaluzuk. The mark of the accusative is on the dealing. H1580 is gamal. It means to deal with, to recompense, to pay back. This is how they pay him back for salvation. That can be theirs if they take heed. They pay him back by perverting what he has spoken, leading people astray. These are not his children doing this, because we know better. This is a foolish and unwise people doing this, and we all know who it is. There's a second definition for that word, gamal, that also speaks to this occurrence. It means to wean a child, to be weaned. And this is the child in the prophecy we just looked at. The mark of the accusative is identifying Yahushua. The child was a Naziyr from birth to Elohim. There was something special about his birth. And the title of Naziyr is devoted to that part of his life. It's from Yahuwah Elohim, because of the extraordinary things surrounding the birth, the prophecies surrounding it, and the fear in the hearts of all the rulers and the people because of the news brought to the leaders. Also, the supernatural events that occurred surrounding the birth, and the wise men who came because they followed a star, which they had seen in the east. We gave that witness. It was a star that led them to the child and came and stood over where the young child was. A star did that. They were wise men from the east that came to Jerusalem, the teaching of peace. These people in this line of survey is seen as unwise because they have been fooled, foolish and unwise. This is why they tried to kill him as an infant. This is why Yohanan records Yahushua said to them, I am he. It was him. They finally found out who he really was. Some time has passed, and the people who first sought to kill him were gone by now. They realized they had missed him when he was a child and were now coming back to finish the work. Yahushua, the Naziyr. That's who they really wanted. This information changes the game as it comes into play, because it's never been taught like this anywhere else since it first occurred. So we are favored by Yahuwah Sari and praise him to bear this witness, because along with everything else, they recognized him most as the Naziyr. The reason they tried to kill him from birth. Yahushua boldly says now, I am he. Is he not your Ab who bought you? Has he not made you and established you? And Yehuda, who betrayed him, also stood with them. Now when he had said to them, I am he, they drew back and fell to the ground. It's powerful. Is he not your Ab who bought you? So Mosheh begins to sing about the Naziyr here. That is who he is here for this line to survey. Is he not your Ab? H1 is an originator, an ancestor, a father as we know it. Naziyr, he fathered it. It was his. Nothing else can be compared to his birth and the supernatural phenomenon that occurred because of it. Ab, it is used as a term of respect and honor to a ruler or chief. Also, in the definition, it is the head or founder of something. He was the Naziyr foretold to come. Is he not your Ab who brought you? You're in the line of Devarim. This is Yehuda in the line to survey down in Yochanan. Ish Kiryah, Shimon's ben, the one who betrayed him. Because Yahushua was the Naziyr, seen as he in this line. He already confessed to it. They found out it was him because Yehuda went back and told them. This was the betrayal seen in the plumb line because it reads, he also stood with them. And this now becomes the real reason that they came to get him. That's what the word is testifying to. You're not going to find this information anywhere else. Mosheh is singing about everything right here for the Adu. See it in the verse. In other words, is he not your Ab who brought you here? Is he not your Naziyr who brought you here? The one you tried to kill as an infant? Is that why you came? To finish the job? The word for brought, H7069, is kana, and it means to get, acquire, or possess knowledge or wisdom. It is used of Elohim originating, creating, and redeeming his people. They found out this knowledge of him being the Naziyr and the significance of it. This knowledge is what really brought them there. The knowledge of the birth and the supernatural events that surrounded it, as well as the events that followed, including the death of so many infants and the chaos caused by King Herodes at that time to seek out and destroy the child. It brought fear to the region. It was unforgettable and no doubt still talked about because Mosheh declares in Devarim, has he not made you and established you? He was the reason all those things came to pass. He made them do that. And the story is with us today, albeit twisted, as this account bears witness to. So he established it. And he is also the reason verse 6 records, now when he said to them, I am he, they drew back and fell to the ground. He made them do that too, because of fear and the remembrance of what someone with that nature could be capable of doing. This is an act of worship. They drew back and fell to the ground because he was a Naziyr. And they had weapons. So when they fell to the ground, they were established, according to the definition, fixed, stable, and securely determined to stay down. So they were not trying to get up and attack. This indicates that they were really terrified. They were forced to come out there by the ruling authorities anyway, who sent them. And to those of you who follow closely, this gives us better insight to what was going on with the bread that was dipped and why no one else knew what was going on between Yahushua and Yehuda Ish Kiryah. Why did he say, what you do, do quickly. It records some thought it was because he had the money box and used to take what was in it. That's what some thought. And he did do that. It does not say what the real reason was. But the real reason is revealed right here, right now. This is the Naziyr, the one they had been looking for. Satan knew it and made his move. You can go back and check the record. The conversation was between Yehuda. It was between Yahuwah, because his word oversaw the whole thing. And in the verses, Yahushua, Satan, and Yehuda, everybody that was in on that bread, is found in video 31, The Will of Yahuwah, that was given by Sari. Yahushua was the Naziyr from the womb to Elohim. This is supernatural all by itself. And Satan, who is a supernatural being as well, knew all this and proceeded to enter Yehuda after Yahushua commanded him to do so. Made his move. Satan was the driving force behind the betrayal to get rid of the true supernatural seed. If he does that ball game, everything's over. So Yahushua was a wanted man from before his birth. And they have been looking for him all his life. If you go back and read some of the stories from this perspective, it's probably why he spent so much time on the other side of the Yarden and kept doing miracles and telling people not to say anything. They knew about the Naziyr. These are the lyrics to the song that Mosheh is singing. He's singing about the good news of the kingdom. This is not the same news that we got out of Christianity and Judaism. Yahuwah has gathered us here for this special witness of his word about the Naziyr, who absolutely nobody in the world knows about because of some city. Yahushua is so much more. And this is the good news of the Malkut, the kingdom. Amen. Well, a Naziyr. And what to make of the city of Nazareth, the city of deception? Nothing of prophetic significance appears to have really happened there. Just another city that they made up to promote someone totally different. Created a whole city just to do that. It's no wonder we don't have any songs with the word Naziyr in it. It's been cleverly concealed. No knowledge of it. But praise Yahuwah for the ado, because Mosheh is finally singing about it. Todah for watching with us here at Sari. If you have not already, please subscribe. Shabbat Shalom. Lehitraot. See you later.